According to many scholars, they define genius as a person who possesses exceptional intellectual, creative power, as well as some form of natural abilities. These are abilities to be able to do something that would leave others, wow, did it just do that? Possessing such qualities has led to the invention of things such as motor vehicles. We enjoy riding them, don't we? Aeroplanes flying above our heads in the sky. Also, simple things, paper. For example, take this ring. The person that came up with this must have sat down to really think about it. Isn't it genius? Wow. To a minimal scale, yes. But many geniuses have been produced around the world, and the World Guinness Book of Records has got some of those selected names. We can cite Sir Isaac Newton, one of the greatest mathematicians, scientists, as well as astronomer. In fact, in the 20th century, they described Albert Einstein as the best physicist of that century. Why? Because his physics was simply top-notch. And it's such people that we urge all the students out there, pupils, boys and girls, to look up to, so you could also bring out the genius in yourself. Do we have Zambians added to the names such as Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein? Have any Zambians created something that we are able to show to the world? This is the Zambian Genius. Finally, here we are. It was like a 10-minute drive from Rockville University to Kwakamanga compound. Here we are. We are about to meet our two inventors, the two geniuses we followed all the way to here. This is Joseph and Emon Lungu, they're brothers, and they've invented quite a lot of things. We've got a domestic ATM machine. Have you ever thought about that one? As if that's not enough, they've gone on to invent what they are calling a safety and security gadget. We'll get to learn more about that one. And also the masterpiece, this one. Yes, you would want to call it a Mercedes-Benz, but they are calling it Joamo. That's the Zambian vehicle. So let's get to catch up with them and just hear how they came up with all these inventions that they have around. You guys, good to see you.
Oh, happy to see you too.
Indeed.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's now get to know who is who now here.
Oh, I'm Joseph Lung, and my brother is Amon Lung.
Who is older than the other?
I'm older than him.
Okay. Age is very important. People will be wondering how old are these guys who are trying to work out some things here. How old are you, John?
I'm 24 and he's 20.
Only?
Yes.
Ah, nice one. How did it all start, you guys as inventors? How did you get to start thinking of getting into creations such as these things we are seeing today?
Okay, our creative instinct has been present since our early childhood. For me, I started inventing when I was 10 years. Wow. Then my brother started inventing when he was 12 years. Yeah, so
what did you do at age 10?
At 10, I was trying to come up with my own radio station, because where we used to stay in Chongwe, we never had a radio at home. So each time when I go to school, our teacher will come with the radio, then I will admire that radio. So one day I had to ask the teacher to say, why can't you give me that radio? And our teacher replied like, why can't you make yours as well? So those words,
Awesome.
Yeah, so those words touched me. Those words touched me. When I went home, I told my grandmother, this is what my teacher told me. Then my grandmother was like, try to ask your uncle, he will help you. The uncle who is there, the one who is in the car.
The driver.
Yes. So he helped me to come up with a simple radio. He had to teach me how the capacitors, how resistors, different components in electronics, how they work. So using that knowledge that he taught me, I was able to come up with a simple radio. And that simple radio, though it had a very long area, and the people within that village would come, our fellow kids would come and listen to it and call me Great Joe, Great Joe. So because of those words, I got motivated. That's where the birth of inventing started.
In what grade were you at that time?
By then, I was in should be grade 4, so.
Wow, genius indeed. What's your story, Emo?
Yeah, at 12, I started inventing the bank, the domestic ATM machine.
Wow,
And
wow.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds great. Okay, with that said, education-wise, how far have you gone?
Okay, for me, I did the automotive engineering at Notec. Him, we did the metal fabrication as a certificate. Okay, so those are the qualifications that we have acquired.
The story simply tells us it's not something that you just woke up like recently, or even after going to college, that's when you started thinking of invention. It came way before, when you were in primary school.
Exactly.
People will argue, no, it's not a Zambian version of a car because, I mean, these things have already been done. What makes it Zambian?
What makes this one to be Zambian? When you look at it, I'll start with the birth of this product. One day we had sat last year, should be in January. We sat with my brother to say, what other project will you make this year? So from that, I started thinking of a car. Why can't we make a car which is very fast and simple but fast? So from that, I had to tell him. From that, he said the only thing that came in his mind was something like this. Okay. Yes.
So you did the designs yourselves?
Yes, we did.
The body makeup of the car?
Exactly.
Okay.
So when you look at this, most of the materials that we have used are locally found. But we tried by all means so that we reduce on the price. Okay, so we had to, some of the things we are getting them from the trash. Those things that they throw, people thinking that they're useless, us we are getting them. When you look at even these metal, we just got them from the trash. The engine, we had to rebuild it. We had to get a block which was used already and rebuild it and come up with an engine. And when you look at the suspension type of system that we have used, it's a permanent suspension system. You don't change shocks frequent. Once you install them, that's for all. Yes. Seriously. And it's well balanced. When it's moving, it creates more weight on the middle, so that the tires will be stuck on the road. Stability. Yeah, yes, so that it can create stability. Okay. And when you look at the materials that we have used, like the body, because we started with the framework. The framework, we started the frame in January last year. Then the frame was done in November last year, 2017. And from November to last week, we are just doing the body part.
That's early March now, 2018.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So yes, it's got, what do you call this again? You know, some of us who have.
This is a reservoir, then the radiator.
Okay. Then we've got the.
This is a fan. Yeah, for to cool the water, which goes to the engine.
Are you sure what you guys are doing is the right thing? I can see wires here and there. The vehicles involve electrical. Who does the electrical part?
I did the electrical part. Okay. Yes.
Nice. Okay. So anything that we are doing, we are very sure it's the right thing, right?
Yes, indeed, it's the right thing. And when you look at the body, the shape of the body, we need a machine to come up with such like those angles you are seeing. Yes. It's very cumbersome for you to come up with such angles, but because of the knowledge that my brother has and the passion that he has about metal work, he had to do that nicely. Okay. Yes.
So Amon, tell us, what do you use to make all these corners? Obviously, you are following the design.
Yeah, I use which we call the square. Yes, it's just like a machine that will help us to bend the corners.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, if we could come over here and just start try to crank the vehicle and see if it's able to start. Maybe as we do that, at what stage are we, Uncle? Can you kindly just connect our battery there? Okay. At what stage is this car now?
Okay, we can say 90% of the works have been done. We're just remaining with the 10%. We're saying 10% because of we need to come up with the roofing there, and we need to do the electrical doors. The doors will have a sensor, and the sensor, once you reach nearby the steps there, the doors will be able to open if you are the owner of this particular
That's
system.
the kind of sensor you want to...
Yeah, that's a kind of a sensor that we want to install.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you tried it out already on road test, and what's the longest distance it has covered if it is done that way?
Okay, as it is now, we're still working on it, so we haven't done the road test. The only road test that we did, it was just here to and fro.
Okay.
Like moving that
Reverse
side, yeah,
and forward.
That's all. But we are yet to do, because there's some small petty things that we need to do. Once we do them, then we'll be able to test it now on the road.
I like it from a point of view of a genius and an inventor like him. He says the remainders are like petty things, but I tell you, that is it. Uncle, let's have it cranking. Let's see if it's able to give us the sound. Powerful. Try it again. Nice one.
Okay.
So just a few things that are needed, then we are good to go, isn't it? I love the sound. Sounds like it's going to have...
Actually, it will have 4 exhaust
pipes.
Just imagine.
I can see at the back, obviously, our viewers will...
And if you want to move, like if maybe you want to move in like silent places like Kumayadi, so you just put it on silent. It's quiet. And if you want for sporty...
Meaning you switch off some exhaust pipes.
Yes, it has got 2 for silent and 2 for...
loud noise, like for sports car.
Yes. Yeah.
You guys are awesome. Okay, so only like 10% of the works remaining for us to get the Zambian car moving onto our roads. Let's get to look at other 2 inventions that you guys have done.
Okay,
Sure. This is called the cash deposit machine, but it's a domestic ATM machine. And so we want him to just let us know exactly what is going on here. Amon, what is happening?
Yeah, this is the domestic ATM machine. Yeah, so when you say Benzela, it's like go for you need to have this card. Yeah, this card is to verify you that you are the owner of this same machine. Yeah, inkara mnyumba, paka mnyumba.
Like an ATM card?
Yeah,
okay.
Like an ATM card. So, ngatulibeka card yaka, so ngatusendrama. Ngana ka card yaka.
Leka nifunze funzo. My ATM machines, they are already there. Why did you make a domestic ATM machine? Now that's the question.
Okay. Yeah, mwenye lizo ngatapanga ichi the same kushito. Yeah, so maybe kunyumba wafuna koro ndrama ya ndio. Urobana maybe wafuna koro ndrama maybe ro transport kuskuru shanshani. So manje mwachitika pizikati. Kunyuko mkushito kuja mkaishite command machine hii. Kusandrama mene mwana wa mwana.
African drama, who puts the money in here?
African drama you are the owner.
Now the question is, we haven't been demonstrated to if the money will come out. Have you ever tried this machine and it dispensed the money?
Yes. Na yes hapo.
Okay.
But it's just like IC canapi.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a small IC inside.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a londa like drama pesa bamai chitenge drama kana makunya so singa ngeno.
Okay.
Funka once to open yapa mwifaka hapa, then you place it. Just wait for 1 minute, then you remove it straight, then you can put inside.
Hey. You've seen it for yourselves. This is simply something that Zambia has been yearning for, and we've got the minds that can be able to create, and they are creating, not just sitting. And I hope this is an encouragement to all those that are still in school, they are at universities. Put on the thinking cap. Let's show the world what we can do. This is called the safety and security system. Talk to us about this one.
Okay. This is a safety and security system, a project that I started inventing in 2012, and it was done in 2015 April. When I went to school in 2012, the first term at school, we were told that you need to come up with a project in the final year. So because of the mind of inventing, so I started gathering components and doing research here and there, so that by the time that I'll be presenting the project, I'll have a good project. So each time when I'm moving from Lusaka to Copperbelt, I could see the road being damaged, and I could hear that a vehicle overturned because of overloading, and
even the bus that you are traveling on itself could be overloaded at some point.
Yeah.
Stop by the traffic officers and then you disembark because someone was overloaded.
Yeah, which is inconvenient.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you could the vehicle move maybe from Intercity up to maybe Kapiriposh, where there's a way bridge. But when you look at the distance it has covered from Lusaka to Kapiriposh, it's a huge distance. If it's overloaded, the chances of it incurring accidents and damaging the roads are quite high. So I had to come up with a project which will stop the car just right there when it's overloaded.
When people are getting onto this bus at the Intercity, if it gets overloaded immediately,
it will not move until they maintain the average weight.
Let's get to hear how it works.
Okay, so this is the model for the vehicle itself. Then there's a mobile communicator. This is a mobile communicator. Then there's a sensor here. This sensor, it's the one that when you are making, depending the type of the weight for that particular car you are making. If it's maybe a 2-ton, you design the sensor according to that weight. If it's 5,000 or 10,000, you design according to that weight. When the vehicle is manufactured, there's a weight, a maximum weight that it's supposed to take. But we find that drivers tend to, So I came up with a sensor which is able to detect, and there's an overload sensor. An overload sensor beneath there. There's an overload sensor on the actual vehicle. How it will be made, we'll be getting the maximum weight for that particular vehicle. Then we'll design the sensor according to that weight and install it on the middle of the diff, the middle of the diff behind the vehicle. Okay, so that it can get the weight once it's overloaded. Okay, and once it's overloaded, using this model.
This is a trailer?
Yeah, this is a trailer, yes.
Okay.
So using this model, if I put more weight here, it will be able to communicate with this mobile communicator. And the mobile communicator, it can either send a text message to the owner, it can also send a phone call to the owner. Okay. And on the actual vehicle, we'll not use the mobile communicators like this. We'll use a GSM communicator which will be coupled with the satellite. Because in places where there's a bit difficulties in terms of network, satellite can come in so that you don't have such
transmitting the message.
Transmitting the
so let's see it do that demonstration.
Okay. Since if you, the owner of this particular vehicle, will configure your number. So I've configured already. Yes. Okay. So the moment I put more weight here, as soon as it goes beyond, it will. Okay, so it has gone beyond.
So then my number is being dialed?
Yeah, it's being dialed.
So let's see, we are waiting for a response.
Okay, that's a call. That's a call.
Okay.
Yes, the moment you see that call, you can call the driver. Anyway, what is happening? You drive and charge. Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
Okay. And
it's genius for real.
And on the actual vehicle, it will be coupled with a software whereby you are able to see how much tonnage your vehicle has taken on your personal mobile phone.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice one.
Okay.
Yes. Quickly, can you tell us the other components, the other part of the system? I know this is for that security, overloading and stuff. What's this other part? Okay.
Imagine, Makishi, you've parked your vehicle in Ndola right now, or you have left your car in Ndola right now. You just remember here that you didn't lock the doors. What can you do? And you don't
scratch my head.
So using this gadget, you can call your vehicle that side, just beeping it. It will know that this number is coming from the owner.
Does this mean you insert a mobile phone into the car?
You insert a gadget, which is coupled with the mobile phones. So meaning when you beep, there's a number that you beep your car, and the number that you, okay, let me say there's a number you disengage.
In the car,
yeah.
It's inserted in the car and then connected to my mobile phone.
Exactly.
So I just click and send to that number.
Exactly.
Then the vehicle locks up.
It locks up. And once you as you are locking the doors and everything, even everything that you'd want to lock, the moment you're doing that, you are also configuring, you're also putting the security system on. So meaning when you put the security system, if maybe an intruder comes to tamper with, maybe wants to steal maybe a tire or anything on your vehicle, the moment it tries to apply a force, there's a sensor that I made which is able to detect a force of a human being. The current security system that which is on the market, there's one component which is racking. The component which is racking, it's a sensor which is able to detect a force of a human being.
Tell this is a human being tampering with my mirrors.
Yes, exactly. And detect and send a signal. So I made that sensor, and that sensor, it's able to be connected to any component, whether it's a plastic, screen, anything on the vehicle.
So once they tamper with it, it also sends a message to you that the car is being tampered.
Yes, exactly. And it will be coupled with a video saver, so that and some cameras, so that as you are tampering, it's getting pictures of that an intruder, and also send them to your personal mobile. That is if you have a smartphone like you have.
Beaten okay. Genius, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is a supercar, Zambian made, and we await its full completion. And from what we've gathered, it's like they're still thinking on how they can make it run on water. How wonderful that would be. Yeah, things like fuels will be a thing of the past. Let our thinkers continue thinking. So, from the look of things, I gotta hit the road. See you.